Hello there, and welcome. This reading is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, and this is for the month of May too. And I'd like to take a moment real quick just to let everybody know something. Some of you know this, and some of you not. And this applies to any readings that you might listen to, not just mine. If you were born during the day while the sun was up, you're more likely to resonate with your sun sign. If you were born after the sunset and the moon was up, you're more likely to resonate with your moon sign. Your rising sign you can resonate with based off of planetary transits that can activate it, and sometimes will resonate with the rising sign more. Or in another case, if your rising sign happens to be conjunct your sun or moon, then you might resonate with it more. Okay, enough of that. Moving on. All right, so I got you guys' cards laid out, and I gave them one more shuffle, and before I went to sit the deck down, and I got two cards that flew out at me, so when cards fly, they must be read. So, we have the Ten of Swords here, and the Ace of Swords. So, we have an ending and literally a new beginning. So, with the Ten of Swords, and this is going to resonate with some of you, and some of you it won't. Take what resonates and leave the rest, because again, this is for the sun, the moon, and the rising signs. So certain portions will resonate and others won't. So there is an ending of some sorts that some of you have been going through, or have just recently gotten through, or going through in the moment. And it's one of those endings that was karmic, it was necessary. So now it's like time to wipe this slate clean, but it's like it's rough. Ten of Swords, anytime I see Ten of Swords, it's like, yeah, I feel like I've been stabbed in the back. That's the type of energy we're dealing with. It can be brutal. So it's definitely an ending that can bring about a lot of pain, especially in the mental realm. Um, Having the Ace of Swords come out with it, this to me shows that there is a swift new start right after the ending. And I always love seeing the Ace of Swords because this energy is A, truthful. And we know that you Sag, you guys love truth and honesty and being blunt. I love that about you guys. So, you guys should be able to embrace this energy well. So, it's a very powerful card to have for a new beginning because it's the sword, it can cut both ways. We do have to be careful on, what we say. However, this definitely indicates that the cards are, like the ace is up your sleeve. The cards are in your hand, so to speak. So it's like you have the power when it comes to this new start and this new beginning. Embrace it. Grab this bull by the horns and go with it, okay? Because this new start is very much needed for some of you, and embrace it. I know there's still some pain, but this new beginning is going to help you, and you will heal up. This too shall pass. It will. Okay. So for the first card here, we have the Page of Wands. So it looks, I'm gonna be straight up just based off of what I have seen already. It looks like you guys are definitely focused on your finances, career, jobs, whatever it may be. But there's definitely a huge financial and job career type focus. We do have a little bit of love over here, but this is definitely a lot of financial type stuff going on here. So with the Page of Wands, this definitely indicates that messages are coming in, and these types of messages always bring good news when the Page of Wands is in the upright position. So this could be like, congratulations, you got the job, or you passed your exam, or especially with like the next card here, if you got like, applied for a loan, things like that. So it's like we're waiting for these messages to come in, or we're already getting them and we're studying them. So moving right along, we have the Six of Coins here. So the Six of Coins, this is the type of energy that is like, it's like a charitable type of energy. However, now this is only going to be for a select few of you. This card can indicate an inheritance, okay? So that's only going to resonate with a few of you. However, this card can indicate that perhaps you do receive some money. So like I said earlier, this could be an indication that if you've applied for a loan, that it will be approved. And this can also indicate that somebody is reaching out their hand to offer you some help. Like, hey, I see what you're going through, can I help you? So it's very positive energy. I mean, you guys are literally being blessed. So those of you who are going through difficult times, trust and believe that help is there, and if it's not there yet, it is coming quickly, okay? There will be someone around to help you, which brings me to the next card. We have the King of Cups. And I went ahead and clarified him, and I got the Eight of Coins. So, this tells me that this person, for some of you, you already know this person, and this person can be male or female, doesn't matter. Yes, it says king, but, this can be male or female. But I get the feeling that at a job you're currently at, or a job that you were at before, that you were really good at, someone is potentially going to recognize you from this job or that job, however it plays out for you, and they're going to recognize you for a potential work opportunity that we'll talk about here in a little bit that I'm going to get to, because I feel like for some of you there's going to be a change, a career change, job change, however you want to look at it. So but honestly, the person that's being represented by this King of Cups, they honestly just want to help you. So this is actually good, positive, helpful energy, and I'm loving it for you guys. So this person recognizes that you're a good worker, or they recognize your skills and your abilities, and they just want to help out. They know that you're worthy, and they want you to be able to have the opportunity that perhaps you wouldn't have been able to have if they hadn't been around. So it's like they want to help you. Again, helpful type energy. So people are coming in to help you. All right, next card. Are we surprised? No, we're not. Ha ha ha. Temperance. Sagittarius card. So I always say, take the time to slow down and smell the roses. We don't want to run past these opportunities. So we have the tendency to just try to get everything done as quickly as possible, but sometimes we just need to take our time about it. Take the longer way to the store, or to work or whatever. Or stop, see some flowers, stop, literally go and smell the roses, admire them, because when we take that time to slow down and do things a little bit differently than we normally would, opportunities can find us that way. And so I urge you guys to definitely try to slow down a little bit so that these opportunities can find you. Also, patience, tolerance, moderation, but most of all, when I see the Temperance card, this shows that this is divine, okay? This is like a divine change. It is one that was meant to happen. So, and honestly, the change seems like it's going to be very positive for you guys. So, I'm liking the energy. Okay, so our next card here, we have the King of Swords. And this could be representing a person, a situation, or the need to take on the King of Swords. What's the words I'm looking for? Look at things the way that he would, okay? So the King of Swords, he is a very sharp, keen, logical, analytical type of man. He's, very stern looking, so he's, taking a step back and looking and observing and analyzing the situation. And he also will make a good choice when it comes time to make a choice, because he's going to weigh the pros and the cons. He's not going to rush through making this decision. And I believe this is the reason why he's coming through, is you're just being asked to, make sure that you slow down and really think about the opportunity that is being presented to you and weigh the pros and cons. Is this something that's really going to be good for you? Is this something that you really want? Is this something that, not only works for you right now, but is going to work for you, in a few years from now? You know, take the time to think things through. Don't just, throw it to the side like, oh, that's probably not that great. Really look at it and, look at it from a logical point of view. Try to take the emotion, you know, out of it, or make sure that we're balanced, the logic and emotion, also represented by the temperance card. So be balanced when you're looking at this opportunity and analyzing it. Don't just, throw it to the wind and be like, you know, you need to look at it, okay? All right, so we have the three of coins. Here we go. And then I clarified it, and we got the Wheel of Fortune. So, again, this is looking great. So, three of coins, anytime I see that card, I know that there is the possibility of there could be a collaboration. There could be a situation where you will be working with like a team of people, which could also be represented by temperance as well, because we're always having to deal with, people and groups of people, especially under the temperance energy. And with this three of pentacles, three of coins energy, again, we could be working like on a team of people. Now, this is also the apprentice card, so this is like an indication that you could be learning a new skill. For some of you, you might be trying to get into a school, a vocational school, or actually go back to, a college, whatever it may be. But this is definitely an indicator that you're going to be learning a new skill. And this opportunity could also be coming from this King of Cups here, who recognized you perhaps in another job position, or knows your work ethic and knows you're a good worker. So this is definitely an indication that there is absolutely a job opportunity coming your way. Now, for some of you, this could be a creative project. For some of you, this could be your actual career, or just job. But, hey, this is very, very positive. I've got a lot of positive cards. Yes, it started a little rough. We got this ending and new beginning. But, hey, like I said, take that bull by the horns and embrace this, because this is going to be a positive change. I feel like some of you are most definitely going to be changing jobs, so, and perhaps it was just time. Okay, I have four different sets of oracle cards that I've pulled from. And yes, I am going to read from the book for them, because, I'm still new to them. I haven't used them enough. And I'll get to the point where I don't need them and just, intuitively based. Alright, so the first one, this is Mystical Shaman Oracle. So the first card we have is the Blade, which, honestly, reminds me of the Ace of Swords. So let us see if we get that same similar type of interpretation. The Blade. The blade represents sharpness of the mind, body, and spirit. Pointing upward, it summons the power of heaven. Okay. You're invited to draw your blade and use it. It is not auspicious to hesitate, to waste time in idle talk, or to hide from the inevitable. Heaven and earth are aligned to support you in claiming your power. So take decisive action. Overcome your fear of hurting others and unsheath that blade and use it wisely. Okay, so the next card we have here is Stand Still, and this is in the reverse position, so we will be reading the medicine portion for this card. 52. Okay. Time to get out of analysis paralysis. Oh, okay. Well, this King of Swords energy can very much help. Yes, we're analyzing, but weigh the pros and cons. So to get out of that analysis, just make a list. Write the pros, write the cons, and go from there. Okay. Stand still invites you to turn within, breathe, and recognize this is the condition of the moment. It allows you the opportunity to bear witness to whatever is going on before movement resumes. This is also an opportunity to abort a project to exit before damage. Okay. And it may also be time to relieve you of an unnecessary burden that you took on without considering the cost. Which one it is depends on your stopping, taking a deep breath, quieting your mind, and removing all your distractions. Then you can make your next move in a grounded, relaxed, and detached way. When something doesn't go the way you think it should, remember the following: what is yours cannot be taken away. And that is an absolute fact, because anything that is actually truly yours, or it is meant to be yours, there is nothing that anybody can do to prevent it from being yours. Okay? Whatever is meant to actually be for you, it will be, no matter what. Nobody can get in the way. Okay, so the next card we have here is the Circle. When the Circle appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including to Spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world. Hello, manifestation. Knowing that you will count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. That's a fact. When the Circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you can know. Stay the course, keep dancing, and all will be well. It's not about the storms, it's about learning to dance in the rain. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna stop being corny, but you know. Alright, so the next deck, this is going to be from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. Okay, so the first card here we have is Trader. Camera. I need a new camera. Exchange energy to create abundance. Okay, let's find Trader. Okay. Make connections and exchange information, talents, or support. The universe operates under the law of cause and effect, and is always looking to return to a natural state of balance. So if you are lacking in the feelings of abundance at this time, you are being invited to share your time, your gifts, and your understanding with others. If you're frustrated because something isn't unfolding in your life, instead of asking yourself what you can get, ask yourself what you can give. The exchange of energy doesn't necessarily mean financial energy. It can also be about supporting in order to feel supported. If you've been holding back with your offerings, now is the time to change that. Allow yourself to be open, honest, and vulnerable. This can prepare you to open up to even greater opportunities in the coming days, weeks, and months. Okay. So for the next card, we have Wise One. And this is grow within your current situation. Wise One. Knuckle down, be reliable and committed. Be open to wisdom and insights from your elders. The wisdom of the Wise One is based on something that the younger generation is often lacking: commitment and reliability. When this card appears, you're being guided to continue working on your growth and expansion within your current situation. Be committed to your tasks and projects. It can be very easy to get bored or overwhelmed, but persevere. You are being reminded of how it feels to be let down and to experience unreliability. And that is not who you were born to be. So keep working on what you're working on, because it's going to be extremely beneficial for you in the long run. So again, these messages Take the ones that resonate with you and leave the others, you know. Okay, so final star ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. Heed the messages coming directly from your soul. There is a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Oh, yeah, we definitely got some help, too. Information and inspiration that has been coming your way recently is not new information, but memories. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. You're being drawn towards a road that will not only light you up, but will also help you light up your corner of the world. Continue following the cosmic guidance that is coming your way. Well, that's beautiful. Okay, so the next card, we only got one this time. It's going to be Moonology. Okay, so we have full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issue may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you are wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. If I could talk today, that would be great. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. And then we have an attune to the moon message, and this is release control and trust the universe. Additional meanings for this card: a professional project be ending now. Admit if you have been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Find a balance between your personal and private life, and it's time to stop fearing the worst. Well, that's an absolute. We all need to stop fearing the worst because, the more that we fear the worst, the more that sometimes we can create a self-fulfilling prophecy, and none of us need that. So get that fear out of your head. When fear starts creeping in, do everything you can to shift your perspective and your train of thought, so to speak. So when the negative comes in, how about this? How about you start focusing on everything in your life that you are so grateful and thankful for? No matter how big or how small, when we can focus our thoughts on the positive, it's going to cancel that negative out. And the more that we focus on the positive, the more positive things that we're going to attract to us. I call it the attitude of gratitude. Okay, so the next oracle cards is going to be the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. Okay, so the first one we have awaiting results. Okay. Keywords: patience, assessment, outcome, alternatives. You've put much energy into creating and attracting the relationships you desire and are eager to see positive results. Patience is needed. However, reshaping attitudes and beliefs takes time. Refining yourself so that you'll attract just the right person is a process. If you find yourself becoming frustrated at the apparent lack of visible change, step back and focus on something other than your relationships for a while. When you're feeling more detached, you'll be in a better position to notice any improvements. If you've invested enough time, then take a moment to evaluate your progress. Are your efforts bearing fruit? Are you seeing the desired changes in your interactions with others? If yes, excellent. Carry on. If not, it may be time to shift your approach. Look for alternative strategies to effect the change you desire. What works with one person may not work with another. When working on yourself, be sure that you're being true to who you are and not simply following society's formula for relationships. And what I do like about this particular deck here is that it's all about relationships. So and when I say that, it's not just romantic relationships, okay? This is about the relationships we have with our parents, our siblings, cousins, our friends, our co-workers, on and on and on. But most importantly, it's about the relationship that we have with ourselves, and that's the most important relationship you can have. So that's why I really like this particular deck here. Okay. The next card here is called Share the Love. Okay. Keywords: friendship, celebration, rejoice, community. You're entering a period of joy and tranquility. However, this card speaks of friendship rather than romance, suggesting that this is an opportune time to connect with friends. For the time being, let go of any desires, anxiety, or stress around romantic relationships. Instead, focus on your relationships with your friends. Turn to them for support if you need it, and find reasons to celebrate with them. Rejoice in the fact that they'll always be there for you and you for them. Community is also important at this time. Get out of your house. Get away from your own concerns. How can you positively contribute to your community? Reach out to your neighbors. Is there an activity group or a support group that you've thought about joining? Do it now. This is a great way to meet new people who could turn into lifelong friends. Feel the joy of connecting with others and sharing your love in that way. That's a good message. Basically saying it's time for y'all to go meet some new people. Embrace the friendships you already got. Make sure that the reciprocity is there, but don't be afraid to get out and go do something. Go meet some new people. Sometimes we need to meet new friends. New friends can sometimes bring us opportunities and lifelong friendships that we can develop. So go for it. Okay, and so for the final card, we have Master. See, that looks like the heart is in the cage. We don't want it caged. Keywords: fear, identify, release, negativity, freedom, and love. Fear and doubt often prevent a relationship from flowering or from manifesting. In matters of the heart, they can restrict and confine. They prevent you from opening to the joy and love that's waiting for you. A fearful heart closes in upon itself and sees only negativity and doubt. Your fears can even make you question your own value, causing you to wonder whether you're worthy of being loved or if you'll ever find love. These thoughts, if not controlled, will manifest more of the same, continuing in a never-ending destructive cycle. It is time to take action to master your fears. You must first identify them. What fears about love have you allowed yourself to believe? Are you concerned about being unlovable? Are you uneasy about giving up your freedom in order to be in a relationship? Do you find it too difficult to speak up about your needs and ask that they be met? Sit quietly and uncover what may be holding you back. By the very act of facing your fears, you will recognize them for the deceptions that they are, and you will discover the power to master and eliminate them. The absence of fear is unconditional love. Yes, and I'm going to say that again a little bit louder for the people in the back. The absence of fear is unconditional love. Please take some time to look at your fears and doubts so you can release them. This will free you to manifest joyful and loving relationships. And know you can have the relationships you desire. Act now. Release your fears and open your heart. And an affirmation for this one, since it's kind of heavy hitting here. I now release my fears and open fully to a loving relationship with myself and others. So that's a good affirmation, especially if you are resonating with this card. If you seem to, continually attract the same type of person, so there's like a pattern, yeah, we definitely need to be paying attention to the energy of this card, because there's some sort of fear or some sort of belief that is actually keeping you confined and keeping you from attracting different type of people, and so that you just keep attracting the same type of people, just different names, look a little different. So ultimately we need to get to the root so that we can eliminate those fears or those self-restricting beliefs that are not going to help us in the long run, because you are lovable and you deserve love. Own that. Own it. Okay, I hope this resonates with you guys. If you have made it this far in the reading, thank you so much. I love you for this. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Like the video if you want. Either way. Um, I greatly appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. And I'm going to send you guys blessings of healing, prosperity, and love. Talk to you later.